All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Carson's Conversations. Today's episode, we're really just going to be talking about quarantine and kind of my experience with it and what I think you should be doing, what you can be doing, what you can be trying, and stuff to just kind of experience as well, because being inside is a very weird thing. Like, not that many people have, pretty much the whole world is now shoved inside, right? Hopefully you're listening to the rules and regulations that are being put out on you. Stay inside, wash your hands, sanitize. I'm staying clean. Brought the Lysol wipes out for us just in case I'm getting a little antsy and I need to clean my hands or something. I don't know. We're here to have fun. We're here to talk about that type of thing. But for me, I'm trying a bunch of new things. And even my parents are too. My mom never cooked bread before. She's making sourdough bread. She's got starters and a whole bunch of stuff, and she's bringing it out and giving it to her friends. Something completely new. Haven't seen that before. Kind of weird. Scares me. I can never make food during the afternoon now because my mom is cooking bread. It's a pain, but it's good for her because she's trying something new, which she can't normally because she's working. And for us, for the people in high school, for the people going to university next year, which that might be skewed. We might be stuck inside as well, depending on how long this thing lasts. But what we can do is try something new. For me, I've really gotten into kind of watching a bunch of films. I've watched as many movies as I could. Every night I'm watching 2 or 3 movies just to kind of get a grasp of what really film's all about. So I've been watching like Wes Anderson movies to Tarantino to legitimately everybody, Christopher Nolan, all of those guys. And I've been trying to figure out how can I use this idea, their film styles, in something that I'm doing. I kind of want to make a movie or like a short film or something like that, just because I think it would be fun. It's hard to do it now, and I know I can't do it because it's going to be really boring if I'm just filming inside of my own room in my own house. So we're going to try and step it up. So I started writing stories. I started doing a whole bunch of different things. And I'm trying to push my personal envelope as far as possible just so I can feel like I've grown, at least during these times, within this month, because it's super difficult to find something that you really like. And once you do find that, you put all your effort into it, you fall in love with it. So what I'm doing is I'm tasting and I'm trying and I'm doing as many different things as I can possible. So when I find that thing that I really, really like I have with running a business or starting a business, attempting to run a business, and film, making videos and creating things, those are 2 things that I love. And when I can bring in film and business, tie that in with money, experience, conversation, meeting people, all that stuff just gets better and better and better because that's the trio of things that I love. I love meeting new people, talking. I love creating, and I love the after effect of those 2 things working out together and giving me some financial support. That's the thing that we should be doing right now. If you love painting, if you're an artist, if you're someone that's interested in that type of thing, try different types of painting. Maybe even start drawing, or go on Amazon. They're pretty busy right now. Why not order on Amazon? Or even if actually, you know what's better? Order locally right now. Because Amazon, mega companies like that, they got tons of opportunity. People are going to be ordering like no matter what. But those small businesses, that's their life. Like if a local art store can't sustain within these months, it's going to be very hard. And the government's stimulus packets aren't going to help too much. So support local. Especially going back to my point, if you're an artist and you like painting, keep painting. Try different styles, but also step out of your boundaries. Maybe do some sculpting and do some clay work. Do as many different things as possible. I'm not kidding. Like, it's the time now. For the people that are in school, I know some of the universities are doing their finals right now, so you have that time. But once you're done that, you're free. You can relax. You're done your work. Find something you enjoy. Work on it. Break it down. Figure out what you're good at, what you're not, and run with it. Because we got the time in the world, and I've talked about it before. We're saying, oh, you've got time, you're in high school. You got so much opportunity. You got tons of time to do whatever you need. Think about it now. That is 10x of what I was saying back then. You have so much, like, unbelievable amounts of time. And sure, be lazy, watch a couple Netflix series, binge watch Tiger King, watch the extra episode they brought out, go on TikTok for 5 to 8 hours. Not really, don't do that. Unless you're creating, unless you're doing something productive, you're putting something out there. And understand, take in as much information as possible. If you don't understand anything about how the coronavirus is affecting our economy, look into that. I've got a class on it, so I kind of have to stay versed in it. But it's like, you have the time. You've got the undivided attention of just everything right now, where you can do whatever you want. Sure, you're limited by whatever house you're in, whatever size apartment, building, dorm room, whatever it is. But those four walls, those couple floors, the doors, you can still do so much within them. They're not limiting you. Your head is. You have to break through that level of just attention and wanting to do things and meeting people and going outside and talking to them and touching hands and trading germs and gross stuff like that. Just stay inside for a bit. Think. Sit down. Maybe stare at a painting that's in your house for a little bit. Play some Pink Floyd. Zone out for a couple minutes. Figure out what's up. Break it down. Think of yourself as a system, and you got to kind of, when it stops working and this big reset that has that's been the coronavirus affects you. What you can do is, personally for me, the first 2 weeks of the coronavirus, I did nothing. I became a couch potato. I did absolutely nothing, and that's completely healthy. That's completely normal, because it's hard to readjust to something that big of a culture shock and just an effect. But now that time's over, if you've been kind of in that rut for a month, maybe go out for a jog, change something up, do a little bit of an adjustment, and just get back into your regular system within those four walls that you're in. But you have to push the envelope now. And it's not a big envelope. It's like a 2-inch size envelope. It's not even regular. You couldn't fit anything in it. One postage stamp, pretty much. The thing is, we have a lot of time. Unbelievable amounts of time. You're never going to see this amount of time again unless there's another pandemic in the future, which there probably will be. But take that time and do it. For businesses, like for the company I'm working for right now, we are doing a lot of stuff. We're planning content. We're saying we're going to do this. We're going to do big Zoom calls with the whole team, film it, live stream it, talk about stuff. We're going to interact with everybody that's asking questions about whatever it is that they're doing. I don't want to disclose kind of their business, because I guess that might look bad on me. I'm not too sure. But they're amazing people. They love doing it. They're getting into posting every day and kind of understanding how important that is. And they're seeing the growth because they've got the time, right? They're using it effectively. They're getting their normal day-to-day work done. Working around with their kids, hanging out, enjoying life, being happier than ever, but they're also working on things they haven't done before. And it's like any good thing. Like, you're not going to get a perfect six-pack without doing sit-ups. You got to do those sit-ups. I try to do sit-ups, and it kills me. It's a pain in the ass, but that's how it is. We got to kind of figure out what's going to work and what's not. And continue down different paths too, right? Like I'm saying, okay, the painter's going to paint. Just try that different clay thing, right? That makes sense. But for me, what can I do that's different? Because I love to think of new ways to kind of better myself, because I know sometimes I come across as an asshole or I'm intimidating, and I got to figure out in my own head, what are those little hiccups that happen that I think I'm doing something correct and not going to affect anybody or just be better for them. But in other people's eyes, they look at me and they go, he's just being an ass. And I'm just like, oh, I'm being perfectly fine. What is it? I sat down and I thought about it. And I was like, I'm just getting too arrogant with whatever it is, or I think I'm better. I'm not saying that I think I'm better, like that one meme where it's just like, I think I'm better than the other person. No, not at all. What it is I get to this level of overconfidence. And it's starting to plague me, and it comes across as ego, but it's actually not. In my eyes, at least, this is what I'm saying. And I think a lot of it is just my inability to properly communicate what my point is. A lot of the time, my mind is moving slower than my mouth is. So I'll come up with words, and then I'll go, and then I'll say something, and it's not the right thing. So I have the time now to think about, okay, what's a better way to handle this? How can I figure out how to communicate and properly express the feelings or express the things that I have? I've also just been watching a bunch of different things, right? Movies that I would never think to watch. that really push like honestly like super emotional ones where you're like, whoa, that was a roller coaster. And then I'll go watch like horror movies that I've never seen before, never even wanted to watch. It's trying and tasting as much different things right now because we got the time, right? And I'm going to keep repeating myself constantly because why wouldn't I? We, right now, North America as a whole, we're going through a lot of stuff. The United States are really in bad shape with the coronavirus. Really, really bad shape. The world is going through the biggest shock they've had in a long time. We're going to see some bad stuff with the economy. Stocks are going to crash, all that type of stuff. But let's just better ourselves now. Figure out what's up, what's happening, how we're doing. Hey, how are you doing? And let's think, how, before we hit all of this insane things that we're about to, how can I better myself? So when I put my head down to the grindstone and I work to support my family, pay off debt, do what I actually want to do, then you can actually do it. That's the whole thing. You can figure out those different levels of more understanding and that type of knowledge building and learning and all that with the time that you have now. And even there's a lot of people that are going through things. It may be like you lose a friend or you lose something that you don't normally, like you stop talking with your friends. Like that happened to me. Like within the recent past, like the form, like the month or whatever we've had with the virus, my buddies that I would talk to every single day, we kind of lost touch, and I would try and reach out and be like, hey, do you want to do this? Do we want to play some games together? Do we want to play some Call of Duty? And it would always be like, no. Or they would be playing, like two of them would be playing and the rest of us would be off doing our own things. And I need to reach out more. I need to find a way that we're all going to be able to connect because especially now, it's a pretty depressing time. There's a lot of stuff going on and it hurts. It hurts to see people when they're not communicating and not really talking. So reach out to those people that you don't normally talk to. Reach out to those friends. We can talk. We have the time. We can break down all the emotional issues that you have. We can talk to your friends. Even if they're not friends, like here's another thing. I've just felt the need to be there for as many different people as possible because throughout my time, I have been an asshole, and I know that, and I know it's affected other people before in the past, and I want to better myself. And somebody actually reached out to me who was a complete asshole my entire high school, and he was going through something, and he apologized, and I pretty much deleted him off all my social media, and he found a way to get to me. And he said, hey man, I know a lot of the stuff that I did to you in the past was really, really brutal, and it wasn't bullying, it was just more of, I wouldn't even say harassment, it just wasn't nice stuff. I didn't let it get to me mentally by any means, and I just brushed it off. But the apology came in and I was like, I wasn't expecting that from you. I would have never thought in a million years that you would apologize for whatever it was. And that's something that right now people can think about the other things that they've done and find the time. You don't even need to find the time. I keep saying time, but what I'm trying to get to is like, if you have any type of issue or any type of thought or idea, why not try it? And even, okay, I love TikTok right now, and I know I talk about it in every single episode, and I know you're probably tired of it by now, but try different things. Like for my content creator friends that maybe be listening to this, if you make dance videos, I was just talking to my friend Cassidy, she's amazing, she's going to come on this soon, she doesn't know it, but she will. I was talking to her, and she was like, I'm tired of doing these dance videos. I got to try and branch out and do different things. And that's exactly it. Branching out is it. When I was talking with Brittlestar, Stuart Reynolds, he was talking about how during the Vine era, when it just completely disappeared and he had 1 million followers, there's nothing he could do to transfer over. And now's a good time to set up and expand yourself into different levels. If you're part of that group where you really want to break down and understand a specific type of thing, or you're really, really niche, that's okay, but break out into different platforms at least, right? So for a lot of the people that are making these 15 to a minute videos, they have millions of followers or whatever, but they have 0 followers outside of that. Sure, they have like 10,000 followers on Instagram, but Instagram's losing its relevancy. It's becoming that app that people have to post on, to bring other people on, because it counts as that social key. It's more of a social app in the sense it's social media. Obvious, great, good idea, Carson. But what it is it ends up being a ranking system for people. And people go, oh, you have 10,000 followers? That's great. I have 100,000. And it becomes a little bit of an ego check. It becomes a way for people to be like, oh, I'm better than you. But what you can do is you can expand to different platforms like YouTube, Facebook. People may think that's pointless, but there's opportunity there. You can do that type of thing. And you can just find new ways to do things. That's it. Like, just try stuff. That's all I honestly have to say. There's nothing else I can ramble on more about it. It's just get your ideas out. Also, I kind of want to be, I've been watching a lot of stand-up comedy recently. And I've been going through a lot of ideas. A lot of them would definitely not let me go into university because I've been watching some of those more raunchy comedians. Chris D'Elia came up with a new stand-up today or last night or whatever it was. And it was amazing. And it just allows you to get all these different ideas. You can laugh at them, all the funny things. But I want to try that now. But I know it's not going to happen for a long time because of the virus. But I can still think, I can still dream, I can still imagine the things I would talk about. And that's what this time's for, guys. That's all I got to say. Thank you for coming to this episode of Carson's Conversations. I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys need anything from me, feel free to reach out. That's all I got to say. Follow me. Check this out. For the people that are watching live, what we can do is go on Spotify or Apple Music and you watch some of my other episodes. All right, guys, let's the jazz kick in. I end it with jazz because it's just a cool thing, and I don't know why I do it.